So you're in the Mindful Parenting membership. You know that this is how we start all our calls. What are your wins lately, Ranine?
Um, my wins. I find that I'm not triggered as quickly. Um, and my octane is coming down a little lower. I try. It's good for a little while until they absolutely don't listen, and then it's like, I'm talking to you. So but
Yeah.
it's gradually getting there. Yeah, and I'm actually trying to get onto their level now and get down and talk to them eye to eye and in a calm way. So, yeah,
Awesome. Those are good
yeah.
wins. Yes. I like those wins. We celebrate
Believe
the wins.
they give me lots of times to practice.
Yes, they give you a lot of practice. That's generally how this goes. So, do you want to tell us about your family and who are the major players in your family and what's happening these days?
So I would say I'm pretty major in the family
Yeah.
since I am the the only parent. So yeah, I've got a 6 year or a 7 year old girl. She just turned 7 on Canada Day. And I have an 8 year old boy that turned 8 in April. So they're pretty close together, 15 months apart. So I believe there's some challenges with that, with so close together, and you love him more or her more. But no, they're in camp over the summer. I've got them separated, so they will hopefully miss each other a little bit and get a little bit along a little bit better when they get home. Uh, but no, they're both doing very well in that. It also helps them with education and keeping up on their reading. So they're doing very well with that. Phoenix has already been up a level in reading, so that helps. And so yeah, they don't get to see their dad very often. He is not really in the picture. He was supposed to have them every other weekend, and he's got medical stuff, and so that's a challenge as well,
Mm.
as he's not a role in their life. However, I got ma mère, we call her ma mère, she's French, so ma mère and her husband, and then I also got a boyfriend that really helps me out, and he's actually more patient than I am and actually is able to be more calm than I am. So that's good. They've got a good male figure there. And we also have my sisters, so they're to Tante Fauna and Uncle Stewie, and they help out, and they got their two cousins over there, so
Awesome.
they help out. Yeah,
It sounds like
got a little
there's
support.
yeah, there's some nice support around, that connection to your family is, really needed and sounds like you're dating a cool guy who
Yeah.
balances your energy. That's how Bill is for me. He's like the naturally like calm and chill one. And I'm like, I'm the one who really needs to work on it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. Cool.
My babysitter too. I found a really good babysitter. It took me a long time, but she's excellent. She's there whenever I need her, and she always backs me up. So I really like that.
Yay. Yeah, I think we all need like good babysitters in our lives, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we didn't evolve to raise small children just in these like tiny households. And as a single parent, that's even, more so, right? Where our
yes,
kids need so much that the tribe is kind of what's needed. So I love that, hearing that you're like building that tribe around you. You have allo parents, right, which are caretakers that are not biological parents, so the babysitter, and so that's really great. Those are good steps.
yep, yeah. And we have a church family as well, so we go to church every Sunday, and they really enjoy that. And um, my sister is the one that does the children's ministry, so they get to hang out with Tante Fauna and learn about the Bible and loving. so, so that's fundamental with our family as well. So we like to do that every Sunday, and the kids love it as well. So
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So there's like anchors of rhythm in your week, there's anchors of community. And it sounds like you're not trying to do everything constantly. You're asking for help and reaching out to your community, which is smart and wise thing to do, right? We all need
yeah,
that to keep ourselves sane.
yeah. But let me tell you, it can get overwhelming because I own my own business as well. So whenever you do, I have my business aspect, and then you leave there, and then you come home, and then it's the hustle and bustle that especially now that school's out, because it's more structured with school. I do miss the school structured life, but now they're going to camps, and I'm the one that drives them here and there, and then when you come home from work, it's still, you know, you have to make the supper, and you got to clean, tidy up a little bit, and but it, I do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot. And 7 and 8, they're also one thing we can talk about, but, thinking about is 7 and 8, they can start to be really helping out a lot more too, which is nice. And it's good. It's really good for kids to be doing chores and things around the house. It's like something
yeah.
we should encourage. But awesome. So you've got this beautiful family. These kids, 7-year-old girl, 8-year-old boy. I It sounds like beautiful. I'm sure you have zero problems whatsoever, Ranine, because parenting is so easy all the time.
Hence, I'm in the course.
So, what are some of the challenges that are arising?
um, well, there's a challenge things pop up, and you just, that's out of control. Um, so we lost my, I guess you'd call her my stepmom. I've never really called her my stepmom too much, but my dad's lady friend for 33 years. So my dad's an alcoholic, and that has been more of a challenge to try and help him out at the same time trying to keep my life going, because the kids do know that he's an alcoholic. And so when we're driving him around, the kids are like, maybe you should stop drinking so much pop. It's not really pop, it's rum, but yeah, so this is a new challenge that has arisen. But anyway, um, my little girl,
I'm sorry
she's
to
a
hear
handful already.
that. Mhm.
So, but yeah, I would say she is the yeller. She also, I must take after her mama. So she's already challenging me here at age 7. She acts like she's 17.
Okay, so let's talk about your daughter then. So she's 7 years old. She's yelling. She's obviously having some resistance to stuff, right? So, and she's pretty
Yes.
vocal, strongly vocal about it. It's really helpful if we can look at like kind of a specific situation. Can you think of something recent and kind of what happened and what went down, so then we can look at it more carefully?
Oh, let's say, because, okay, so we're getting ready in the mornings, because usually mornings are pretty good. They usually get up not too bad. She would be the one that would wake up cranky, but quite often more so than her brother. He just asked her to get ready, and she just and moans and groans and doesn't want to, get on with the day and timeline
Hmm.
us out here. And she would then yell, and then go on. I'm like, okay, well, if you're not going to listen, you're going to not have electronics, because electronics always works. And so then I would say, you won't be able to watch electronics for the first couple hours when you get home, and then she gets all upset, and I don't want to do it, and now I'm upset. You ruined my day because now I can't have electronics. And anyway, so I always do give her a chance. So that was just last night. So she come home, and I told her, well, if you can tidy up your bedroom and not make a big fuss about it, and don't just throw things everywhere, and do a really good job like I showed you, and put your dirties in the laundry, and maybe then once I see it, then you can watch, some TV. But yeah, so she just wants to have her own
Okay.
way.
All right.
And
Cool.
when she
So,
doesn't get it, she gets a
all
little
right.
irate.
So it sounds like you're like using the sort of the threat of taking away her screen time, her electronics, as a way to kind of get her to take action.
Yeah.
And so it's probably been like this for a while, I bet. Okay.
Has it been? Yeah, it has been for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been doing it probably for about a year now.
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. So when So the threat, using the threat and using the kind of if then language is kind of what I'm seeing here. It could be a big piece of this puzzle. So when we threaten our kids with whatever, they feel threatened, right? So their whole fight, flight, or freeze stress response is activated. So just as we learned, like in mindful parenting, about our own stress response, right? Like kids obviously have that same stress response. So that response is fight, flight, or freeze. So it's an involuntary automatic response, like within milliseconds, that she's going to have a response to really push back against that threat, to fight you, which is yelling, right? Or
Yeah.
even to flee or to withdraw, right? Affection and things like that. So the threats that have been happening for her over time are really kind of setting her into a pattern of resistance for resisting any of your requests and things like that. So using, like, if you do this and then you do that, our kids really feel that manipulation. They really chafe against it. So yeah, just like you would if I said, Ranine, I'm only gonna let you have your babysitter come if you do X, Y, and Z. You would be like,
Uh-oh.
excuse me, what are you talking about? You would really chafe against that. And so our kids are exactly the same way. And I'm not saying this to like blame you or shame you or anything like that. This is like kind of what we're taught from our society and our culture. And like threats are like, for me, that's like when I get really frustrated, I'm like, oh, I want to threaten you so much, so bad right now. It's like my sort of go-to default when I'm like, I really want to threaten you. But it's counteracted. It's actually like it's setting her up in opposition to you. It's putting you in a battle, and it's making her less and less likely to cooperate with you in the future.
Okay.
So
Uh-oh.
that's the bad news.
What are the tactics?
That's the bad news. So one of the things that I'd want to ask you to do right away is to like stop using threats and punishments that have, like, these things that have nothing to do with what you're trying to achieve in that moment. You gotta try to like stop them as best you can, cold turkey. um and so that means you'll get in a moment with your daughter where you're like, oh, I want her to do XYZ. So let's think about a typical thing. You said you kind of talked about getting out of the house, but then you talked about getting home at night. What are some typical things that where she has resistance, and what you're trying to get done?
Oh, cleaning her room.
Mhm.
she she will wear and put on a few different outfits and just keep it on the floor. Yeah, her room is, yeah, the disaster room. But I know she's only 7, but still, it's
Okay. All right.
um, that would be, asking her to do something like that would be off the
Okay.
top. Like,
And
yeah.
cleaning her room, let's just think about this. So this is interesting when we look at a problem, right?
Mm.
And we talk about this in mindful parenting, right? We say who owns this problem? Whose problem is this, right? Like, whose stomach does this make hurt, right? So you want her to clean her room, because why?
Because it looks like a disaster. It's a smaller room, and it's hard to get anything done in there. It's hard to if you want to go in and clean, to vacuum really quick or to mop or
Hmm.
and we had actually I would say about 2 months ago, maybe, a big ant problem, like
Oh
carpenter
no.
ants coming in. So, you know, we had to get the house all sprayed on the outside and on the inside, and
Oh,
so that really freaked her out because a lot of them were coming in her room. So, anyway, if it was just a little tidier, maybe they, and mind you, it wouldn't be. It's not really that. The ants would have came in anyway, but yeah, but. There
Okay.
was a lot of dead ant bodies around.
And do you have to use her room typically?
No,
Okay.
no, not really.
Because
No.
the thing about the room is, right, like if she came into your bedroom and she took off her clothes and left her clothes all over your bedroom, you'd have a problem, right? Because you wouldn't be able to use your room and you wouldn't be able to enjoy your space and you'd probably have a real problem, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Clean your stuff up.
Yeah. But if it's her room, it you can the reason why I say this about the room is the room you can close the door. This is a place where
Yes.
you can reduce conflict. It's not it doesn't have a direct consequence or impact on you, does it?
No, no,
So
I suppose the door would be closed.
so it's not your problem. Do you think
Yeah.
we could say
Do you think she will change? Right? Am I going to raise a slob?
so I'm hearing your fear, right? You're like, if I don't force her to clean her room, I'm gonna raise a slob. She's gonna, there's that fear, and that fear, that's your stuff, right? That's not her. That this is just right now, and this is just a 7-year-old with a messy room, right? This isn't. It doesn't mean she's gonna be a slob for the rest of her life. No, and in fact, if you model keeping things tidy, if you model keeping the rest of your house tidy, if you model keeping your own room tidy, chances are she's going to absorb that lesson sooner or later. But right now, she's in a big place of resistance against you because you've been forcing her to do stuff and threatening her, right? So we
Mhm.
want to start to shift things away from this resistance and being able to drop some issues that are not essential is going to
Yeah.
be a way for you to what we need to do, and let's think about it this way, right? Like, so if she's 7 and she's, you've been using the threats and things for a long time, so she's used to now resisting your requests. This is a
Yep.
habit. And so
Yeah.
she's like in a train that's going 90 miles an hour in one direction. We got to not only slow that train down, we got to stop it, we got to turn it around. And that's going to take us some time. And for her, the 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 tools of the threats and punishments, those are extrinsic motivations, right? Carrots and sticks. And we want
Hmm.
to start to shift towards where she wants to cooperate with you and and help around the house and do all those things with you because she's intrinsically motivated to do it, because
Oh, I see.
she cares about you and wants to. So the thing that makes her want motivated to, to help out around the house, to be cooperative with you, all of those things that make life easier
Yeah.
is her that connection to you and the quality of that relationship and connection to you, right? So it's
Yeah.
like the relationship bank account, right? You got to put in a lot of deposits in that relationship bank account before you take any withdrawals. And right now you've been putting in a lot of withdrawals, and so you're trying to you do so many withdrawals that the bank account's like, not there's nothing, there's no cushion there, right? Right.
Yeah.
So to start to turn things around with her, we want to think about this relationship where she's been feeling manipulated and pressured and had a lot of resistance. And so that
Mhm.
natural connection and desire to want to be close to you and desire to want to please you has been shifted into this sense of resistance for her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so right now, may probably over at least maybe the next 6 months or so, I don't know, it depends how long, how kids can get in a habit, is going to be a time of trying to really build that connection, build that, really put those real deposits into the relationship bank account, and before you're going to be able to withdraw again. Does this make sense,
Okay.
Ranine?
Yeah. I see it with probably most of the things would be her resistance. Yeah. So.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so let's talk about some of the ways like you can talk to her that will cause less resistance around things around the house. But before we get
Yeah.
to that, like the thing that comes before that is to build that connection back up again. So when I suggest that idea to you of like kind of really building that connection and building that relationship that together again, what does anything come to mind to you as far as like how you can go about that?
Oh yeah, we could sit. Oh yeah, she wants me to, we got a little inflatable pool where I could just sit in there with her, or we sometimes share a bath together with a bath bomb and bubble
Mm.
bath and stuff like that. Yeah, oh yeah, and or we could sit down and watch a little movie or have more
Uh,
one-on-one time, I guess.
yeah, yeah, those all sound awesome. Those sound like really,
Hmm.
really good ideas. Like, and the thing is, it's true. Like, our kids, our relationship with our kids is just like any other relationship, where you can't. We have to like have date night, right? Like,
Yeah,
we want to date our kids. Like, we want to give them that one-on-one time and pay attention to that relationship. And then
yeah,
when we have things like that we need, we have those withdrawals, we have some cushion. So yeah, and it can be, you can say, okay, but babe, you can do like that special time where you say, hey babe, like, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. We're going to do some special time. The next 10 minutes we can do whatever you want to do, excepting screen time, and
yeah,
I'm yours completely 100%. And you'll practice what we talk about in those first modules of mindful parenting. Will you practice like just being at her level, just observing her, being curious, being
yeah.
interested, looking at her with fresh eyes as if you've never
Oh,
seen her
she loves
before.
doing crafts. Yeah, she
Yeah.
loves doing any
Okay,
kind of
awesome. Yeah,
crafts.
yeah, yeah. So if you can, you try to do special time like every day, like
Yeah,
give it 10 minutes. And you can do it also with your son. You can say, okay, I've got 10 minutes for you. I've got 10 minutes for you. If you have and this is like, obviously it may not happen every single day of your life, but like, we're just going to be realistic. But like, this is something that you can do, especially because your kids are so little that it'll build that connection with her like
yeah,
so fast. And when you're connected, when you're really seeing her, you'll start to see in some of the other moments, like when she wakes up in the morning and she's grumpy, you'll start to bring some of that, you'll have more understanding about who she is, and you'll start to bring some of that curiosity to some of those moments. I wonder what's going on with her. Did she sleep well enough? Is there something, disturbing her sleep? Does she need to go to bed
yeah,
earlier? You'll start to bring that curiosity and just kind of that sense of non-judgment into some of those more challenging moments.
yeah. Yeah, because we do like I do quite a bit. Now, my mom's not going to like that not cleaning the room part though. But I used to have my mom come over, and she was the one that used to clean the house. So, but now my mom's knee is too bad she don't come over. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to tell her the door's closed. It's not your room, mom. It's Lily's.
And one thing you can do is, you can say to her, like, hey, babe, I know I've been fussing with you about cleaning your room. And you know what? You could say, I've decided it's not my problem. It's your room. You live with it, but I'm here to help if you want to clean it. And you can also offer, like, I'm here to help you. I'm also here to help if you want to declutter it, if you want to make things sort of simpler and prettier. So just let me know. And then
Yeah,
just back off completely. And,
yeah,
your mom, yeah, you can say to her, Mom, I backed off the room thing. We're going to let it go for a while. We don't want to make it a battle. And
yeah,
then she can have her relationship with your daughter, and that's fine too.
yeah. Yeah, she don't have to go in the room. We'll just keep the door shut. And she won't even have to look at
Sure, sure.
it.
But yeah, for the moment, just you focus on your relationship with her. So then you mentioned some of the challenges are like in the morning, getting out the door in the morning.
A little bit, yeah, yeah. Sometimes now I don't know, mostly because it's they've been staying up a lot later, like or a little bit later than what they usually do if they're in school. It's daylight out more, so they're up a little bit later than usual. But so I could see that they're probably just a little bit more overtired now than what they would be during school structured hours.
And sleep is so, so essential. I mean, you know how I mean, probably I know how I am.
Mm.
If I lose like an hour of sleep, if I wake up an hour earlier, I am such a miserable wench to be around. So it might be good if you could do anything you could to get that bedtime back. So it's really ideal, especially at ages 7 and 8, these young ages, like that sleep is so, so crucial for their brain development. I've talked to the experts about sleep, and it's really, really can make a huge impact on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So if you can get like blackout curtains, if
Oh
you
yeah,
can start to,
I've got them.
yeah, like
Yeah.
turn the lights down low as things start to get, as it starts to get closer to the bedtime, all those things to make it a super soothing, calming, sleepy environment as best you can. I would really try to, if you can bring that bedtime down, that'll certainly help
The
you a
two
lot.
of them like to have like a snack, and I almost like a full on meal before they go to bed. So I don't,
Mm,
I know that it's not good for us anyway to have a lot to eat. I don't know about children, but I know as for adults, it's not good for us to have a big bunch of things to eat and be all in our digestive system whenever we're going to bed. So I'm not,
yeah.
that's a hard one to try to, because they love to have a good meal and full stomachs to go to bed. And so
Well,
I've,
so that's something you can teach them about. You can say that when you go to sleep, if you have a lot of food in your belly, it makes it, teach them about how it keeps your body up doing digestion, where it should be
yeah,
can disturb your sleep and make you grouchy the next day. And just start to teach them about that. And you can say, let's start to have a little bit less snack at night and a little bit more to eat at dinner, and just start to
yeah,
instruct them in that, but not in a like so what we're going to start to aim for is not like that super forceful manipulative way, but we're just trying to teach them
educate.
so that
Yeah,
they understand what's going on, so that they can start to care in that way.
yeah, because I think that kind of doesn't help either. Whenever they're so full and they're going to bed, and I mean their bodies are digesting probably more than they're supposed to heal their bodies at night, right? So,
Yeah.
and that's what our body's supposed to be doing when we're sleeping anyway. So instead of digesting, but
So in the morning, there you want to think about, you if you were like, if you could almost look at your family in the morning and you were like the coach for your kids about how to get out the door, and if
oh,
you were coaching them rather than having to make them get out the door, how are some ways that you could teach them and work with them to get out the door a little bit more easily and happily for everybody in the
well,
morning?
they actually do go out pretty good. Phoenix is really good. I've decided I just go lay down with them in bed and I rub their backs or I sing to them, or and if I hear one kind of then I just, oh, you're a dinosaur today, or so I just kind of do a character thing with them, and it seems to be a little bit better. Why I don't, and then I'll say, do you need 5 more minutes? And then I give them that chance to try to wake up and stretch and do their thing. Yeah. But they're actually pretty good at getting up and leaving the house. So, yeah.
Okay,
So,
good. So that's not a
mhm.
big challenge. What
No.
what are what are the moments with your daughter that are more challenging? Maybe we can break down some of the ways to approach some of those
Um,
moments
uh,
when she yells.
so she's just, okay. So here's one. We were at the pool the other day, and um, that's one of my things because they're not avid swimmers. Like I don't have them in any swimming lessons yet, and I get a little panicked, right? Because then they want to take their life jackets off, and then um, that's just a lot more scarier to me.
Sure, yeah.
Um, anyway, what was it? So the lifeguard was there, and there's them floaty things that they have for the water now, and so she was jumping into the pool onto that, and anyway, the lifeguard told her, Lily, I don't want you doing that, because she heard us calling out her name a few times, so she knew her name. So, and then she looked right at the lifeguard and did it again. I was like, oh. That is so disrespectful. Like, I would like them to have respect, for, other people. And anyway,
And
so
so what was the consequence of that then?
uh, I told her if you weren't going to listen, that the lifeguard is trying to make sure that she's protected and safe. And if she's not going to listen, that she will not be, I would be taking her home.
Yeah. And I think that's makes sense, right? Like that's a if you don't listen to the lifeguard, I'm going to take you home. That's one that
Yeah.
really makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, and I wouldn't, I, and then I don't know, if I kept on saying, and I won't let you come back until you learn how to keep, your life jacket on and play safe, because really they're just trying to keep her safe, and so I do tell her the consequences about, you could hit your head on the side,
so
and
this is
you.
this is great. Like, yeah, so this and this is I'm so glad you brought this up, Ranine, because this is there's such a fine line here um, between like kind of threatening and teaching, because like those are
Yeah.
true. Like those are all those consequences. So it might be a good idea to have a talk with them at home in a no problem zone, right? Like
Hmm.
where we're not like about to maybe have to leave the pool, which would be terrible, right? But
Yeah.
have it at home and just explain, of course, why all those things are so important. And what you want to convey is how it affects you, right? So when I see you without your life jacket on, I feel so scared because I know you don't know how to swim, or I feel, maybe you don't want to say so scared, you don't want to scare them, right? But you may want to say, I feel really worried because you don't know how to swim. So we can, it's because it's not safe, because drowning can happen so easily. This is something we have to do until you learn how to swim. So and just when you're at the pool, we have to wear this life jacket,
You're freezing
and
up a
that's
little bit.
just, you can just hold that boundary with kindness. You don't have to yell about it, nothing like that. Just kind of hold that boundary. It's just a matter of fact, this is just how it is. And then if they have some pushback, which they might, right, because it's so much more fun to do it without a life jacket on, you can say, you can then respond with your reflective listening, like, oh yeah, like I get it, it's a lot funner, I know it stings, yeah, I know, just be empathetic to their concerns. And then if you can listen to them and see and be, show their feelings respect, they will also be much more likely to listen to you and be respectful of your feelings. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, and I have to tell them more about my feelings because, yeah, that is something I'm really worried about. Would be, you bumped her head, or I seen her because when we were there, she swallowed water a few times and she's choking, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Oh, you
jeez.
okay, Lily? Are you okay?" And then, yeah, because so then the next time, I said, we're not going to go to the pool unless you're going to wear your life jackets the whole time, because the pool goes gradually and then you're having fun, you don't realize you're not, I know the lifeguard is there, but
So
I
I'm just going
also.
to interrupt you here because so instead of saying we're not going to go to the pool unless you do this,
Yeah.
don't say it that way. Say, when we go to the pool, you have to wear life jackets. Okay?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
though you can see how the first one sounds like more threatening
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
kind of using that power over them.
Hmm.
And the second one, you say, when we go to the pool, we have to wear, that's just a matter of fact. Does that,
Yeah.
you see the difference from
Yeah.
that? So
Yeah.
I want you to think about you're going to start to notice like that, the use of these threats, like their communication barriers, right? They stop that. You're going to start to notice them. And I'm going to ask you to practice, because you're going to practice to stop using
Okay.
them. But you're going to start to notice that, when we start to pay attention to how much we use these barriers, it's
Yeah.
amazing how much we do it. Don't be like mad at yourself. This is all of us. We're all it's just part of the air we breathe that we're threatening our kids in our culture. But they will be so much more receptive to everything you say if you don't use threats. Okay? So there are some things that you'll want to request that happen, and you want to think about, are there any of those moments you can think about here, and then we can practice how to say them without using threats. Can you think of any, Ranine?
Time to turn the electronics off and get ready for bed.
Okay, awesome. So how much screen time do they get a day?
um, Not too much. I mean, my 8-year-old boy, he has started his own company at 8 years old, which he wanted to do. He bought himself. We were at a friend's house, and he had one of them push lawn mowers, just the blade.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's the power. Anyway, so he wanted to buy one. He bugged me for about 2 weeks. So I said, okay. We took the afternoon, and I said, okay, let's go to Canadian Tire. And he bought himself, out of his own account, a $200 Troy built push
Wow,
reel mower.
that's so
And
impressive.
I know, and he wanted to make make real money like natural people. He told me.
Okay.
So he does go out and he does my yard for free because I drive him to other places, and I asked him if he wanted me to pay him or to charge him gas for me driving him. So, and I'm always with him. So, no, they go to camp all day. And then he does his little lawns every once in a while. And so they get probably, they get over than what they're supposed to, really, though. They get about an hour a day, depending on if it's raining. If it's raining and a miserable day, I do let them sit and watch a movie or do um, watch the internet a little bit longer than usual. But
Okay, all right. So they get
yeah,
an hour a day, and it's usually after dinner. Is it the same time every day?
no, it's different times. It's depending on what
Depending.
time. Yeah, like sometimes after supper, or if they see their friend come down the road, then they're definitely outside to play.
Yeah,
They're really outdoor kids.
yeah.
But they like that quiet time of watching their own little show, probably a little bit before bed. I always get them to watch a super book. It's like a little Bible series
Hmm.
right before bed to try to get good stuff into their brain before, why they're having a snack.
Okay. Um, Yeah, so yeah, with the kids' screen time, we want to have it like at least, like, if we can, an hour or 2 hours before bedtime to have no screen time, because
Um,
the light going into their eyes, right, can affect their circadian rhythms and their sleep and things like that. So
okay.
just to give you an idea about that. And yeah, it can, I would definitely encourage you to don't do any more screen time for them at at this age, if you can, because it can interrupt a lot of things as far as like the dopamine levels in their brains and things like that, and we're just learning more and more about that. But so how to stop from screen time, that's a huge one, that's a big question, right?
Yeah.
um so, um, what I would encourage you to do is, and they're kind of like, so it sounds like they're on their own device, right? They're each on their
Uh,
own device kind of thing.
uh, yeah, one would be watching my little iPad, and one would be watching the TV in the living room,
Okay, all
mostly.
right.
Yeah.
So, I guess, what I would encourage you to do is to sit down. I would sit down with them in a no problem zone. Like, say you take them, you could even have something nice, but say, I'm a little frustrated with, when we have to stop screen time. How would you guys like to know when screen time's over, and what are you needing around this, right? So it might be nice to talk to them ahead of time, so that you can say, hey guys, I don't like to yell, I don't want to threaten things, and you guys don't want me to do that either. How can we make this work better? And so I encourage you to sit down and talk about it with them, so that they can understand, so that they can maybe help you with some ideas, right? You don't necessarily have to solve this problem all on your own. And maybe
Yeah.
they'll just say, oh, I don't know, I just want you to tap my shoulder or something. And so you can try that for a little while and see if that works. Um, but then, so I would first of all talk to them about how we can make this better, to as a family, because it's really frustrating for you. But then when screen time's over, what you really want to do is just gently but firmly insist and not let it get you growth. And this is the biggest thing, is to practice to hold that boundary firmly but kindly, right? So you're like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, screen time's up. We have to stop now. Sorry, babe, screen
Yeah.
time's up. We have to stop. So you're just gently going to insist. If they're, if you've like given them a minute or two and you've insisted a bunch of times and they're still not doing, you may have to take the device away. And
Yeah.
what you're going to really practice to do is just not let that freak you out. You're going to be like the super calm mountain. You're going to just be like, oh, like I'm Zen mother, as best you can. Like you're going to picture yourself, you're going to say to yourself, when they yell, I get calm. When they yell, I get calm. When they
Yeah,
yell, I get
because there's
calm.
going to be yelling.
Right. And you're just going to, you know, I, you don't have to respond at all. You're just going to practice staying calm. I'm sorry, it's time to stop. And then if this is like a consistently a huge big deal, it may be they're showing like those signs of like, grasping and like kind of like being almost addicted, right, to the things. And then
Yeah.
you may want to even practice like, this isn't working for us. Like we're going to take a week off and then
Yeah.
we can come back to it and see if we can do it again another time. But I would just do all those things, hold all those boundaries with you're just going to be as kind as possible. You're going to like, you're going to envision your inner Mother Teresa. You're going to envision yourself being totally unflappable. You're going to blow it out, And before you even go to do that screen time limit, I want you to just sit for a few minutes quietly, put a hand to your heart, put another hand to your belly. You're going to take deep breaths, long, slow exhales. You're going to approach
I'm going to
them
need that.
slowly. You're going to like really, really practice to make this, put all your energy into being, as genuinely calm as you can. You're not like fake calm,
Yeah.
but it's just genuinely just practicing to not react to whatever fireworks and shenanigans they come up with. But
Yeah.
if they are having like huge, huge issues with it, and a lot of behavior problems can stem from like some of the challenges with screen time, like because it affects like our social pathways of the brain, and it affects the way kids' dopamine works in their social pathways of the brain. And I'll be getting some great guests on the podcast to talk more about this too. But it may be a good idea to like take a break for a week,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
just I'm sorry you're bored. When you're bored, something to do is right around the corner. And you'll see all
Yes.
their
Yes.
creativity come
Yeah.
about because they're 6 and 8. They're going to have tons of creative play. But
Yeah.
how does this land with you, this answer?
Good. Good. Yes. And I've already spoke to them before that I wanted to take one day a week and to have absolutely no devices at all. And I do tell my son, I think you're a little addicted to this Minecraft, eh? All the kids are into this Minecraft
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Even my
And
15-year-old.
and I Yeah, well, and my son watched it on, like, because they only got little tablets or whatever, and they're hardly ever on it, and they're not really good ones. But he wants to get it, and I was like, no, the age is, I think, 9 or 10 anyway. And I said, I think it's 10. I'm like, you're not that age yet. Well, my friends get to do it, and this one gets to do it. I said, well, that what they do at their house is what they do. I said, but at mine, I said, you're going to have to be of age to even get it. So he just watches other people play it on YouTube.
So just don't, you're going to be like, you're going to want to say, like, your mouth is going to want to make the words, Ranine, if you don't blah, blah, I'm going to take away this, right? Like, and you are not allowed to say those words. You're just going to say, screen time is over for right now. Time to put it away. Time to put it away. And then if you notice there is a big problem, then you're going to go back together and talk about it. And you're going to talk about it. And you'll look at the modules. module 7, win-win problem solving. And but you are absolutely allowed to hold those boundaries and to take this thing away if you're seeing it's causing a lot of irritation, a lot of irritability
Hmm.
and stuff in your kids. Then
Oh, you can see about after, I, I would definitely say after a half an hour, if you would ask a kid to get off, they're crazy. They're just outright hysterical because you ask them to get off of the devices. So yeah,
yeah, so you're allowed to say, like, guys, this is not working, we're going to take a week off,
yeah.
and or even a 2 weeks off, and maybe we'll come back and have a little bit less as we come back. But yeah, and it's it'll help them, like, with their developing brains and all that. So oh my goodness, so much. Okay, so Ranine, you had great wins. You're getting down on their level. You're staying calmer. These are awesome. Woo, woo. I'm so thrilled for you. You got a beautiful community around you, the babysitters, the church family. You got Tante and grandmere. and and you had some of these challenges, and we talked about the threats and how that is affecting your kids, and that kind of unconditional stuff. We talked about the room, whose problem is it? And we talked
Better
about
shut the
screen
door.
time. So I'd love to hear from you. What is your biggest takeaway from talking today?
I would say the realization of the resistance whenever I'm doing the threatening to my daughter, or threatening to both kids. So, but my daughter really resists. So I'm going to speak better. I'm going to use proper. I'm not going to threat.
Awesome. I love that. I'm so thrilled. Yeah, definitely dive into those modules 5 and 6 in the communication sections, a little bit more, review those. But it's been such a
Yeah.
pleasure to talk to you, Ranine. I can't wait to hear how it goes. And thank you so much for coming on and talking on the air. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks, and thanks for having me. It's definitely over my. It's not in my comfort zone, but I think I did all right. So,
You did fabulous. It was great. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Catch new episodes of the Mindful Mama podcast and other free resources, including the Mindful Mom Guide at mindfulmamamentor.com. You can listen to every back catalog episode, including interviews with Dr. Dan Siegel, Janla Van Zant, Sharon Salzberg, and get meditations, join our private Facebook group, and more. Go to mindfulmamamentor.com now. I'll see you there.